Hey everyone, and welcome back to the X-Ring. On today's episode, we have a really exciting rifle. I've had a lot of requests to review this rifle. This is the Howa 1500 Bravo. So if you're not familiar with this rifle, the Howa, this is actually made in Japan. It's imported by Legacy Sports. This one is chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. This does have a 26-inch heavy barrel. It is threaded in the 5/8 24. And it has a Cerakote finish. I mean, really nice, great looking package. So the bolt here is a 90-degree throw, and as with most Cerakote finishes, it does stick just a little bit towards the rear, but that's something that's going to work itself in as you use it. What's really nice about this is this does have the Krg Bravo Chassis. This chassis is a polymer, but it does have a full aluminum rail system on the inside, so that makes it really nice. The barrel is a 1 8 twist. Today we're going to be shooting the Hornady ELD match, the 6.5 Creedmoor 147 grain. And topped off with this is also the Vortex, the Diamondback Tactical 6-24x50. Now this is a nice scope in and of itself. For an entry-level scope, I believe this rifle deserves a little better optic, but we're going to see how it does at 100 yards. This is an MOA scope right now. Now it doesn't come with the rail. This does have the worn 20-minute of angle rail on it to be able to mount the rings, and I believe that's a great option because if you're not familiar with it, basically, if you guys look at the gap right here, it's a lot higher than this gap here, so it has 20 minutes of angle tilt to it. That's going to enable you to reach out further at longer distances, and it's a good setup. It complements the rifle very well. This does have a two-stage, what they call the hacked trigger, H-A-C-T. It is adjustable. The length to pull is adjustable from like 12.5 to like 15 inches. This does have some spacers in here, and this does have the Weebad cheek riser on it. So this is adjustable as well. You can also do a bag hook here. So really nice, very vertical grip here. So if you wanted to use thumb right or thumb left, it works either way. This does have a Caldwell bipod on it. Big shout out to Jake for loaning us the rifle for review because we have had a lot of requests on it. It does use the AICS magazines. However, the one that was provided actually had some issues with it. I was told this, I haven't actually fired this rifle yet, but they say you can adjust it inside here, but when you do adjust it for the catch, it starts to wobble a little bit. So we're going to be using the Magpul AICS magazine, 10-shot magazine, and we've got a target set up at 100 yards. We'll see what kind of group we can get. They do give a sub-minute of angle guarantee with this, and it is a full lifetime warranty by Legacy Sports. Stay tuned. All right, so we have the 147 grain ELD match. It does come out to a single up at the top. So what I'm going to do is I'll do 3 rounds. This has not been fired, so it's going to include the cold bore. And what we'll do is we'll see what kind of group we can get on the paper here at 100 yards. So I'm looking forward to this. Let's see what happens. Nowhere near the bullseye. The action is very smooth. I will compliment that. Okay, so failed to pick one up off the magazine. Okay, so guys, I'll go ahead and tell you, the group is not that impressive. This rifle actually had 88 rounds on it before we started. Right now it looks like it's about 1.5 inch group, maybe bigger. So I'm pretty solid on this rifle. I don't know what's going on with that. I know it's a little low. I'm probably going to shoot another 3 rounds just to see. But so far I'm not seeing that sub MOA. All right guys, so maybe it was me. I don't know. I'm going to try 3 more again. We'll see what happens. But and I haven't even been down range yet, but I'm pretty comfortable in the scope. Everything feels like it was good, solid. When I shot it, the group was just a little low, but like I said, I'm not worried about where the group is located as much as I am how it's going to print. All right, so all the way back, chamber's no issue, magazine's seated. I just checked the torque on the scope and everything else. We're going to go top left diamond. I did come up on elevation on the scope because I did want it closer to where it needed to be. Not bad so far. Okay, much better grouping. The only thing I did differently was I changed the cheek riser. It was actually a little high. It wasn't really set for me. Actually, I just retorqued the rings to attach it. So I don't know what was going on there. That group's definitely a little better. I don't know if it's quite half of a minute of angle, but it's definitely sub minute of angle. It's interesting. It's interesting. I did come up 1 MOA on the scope just to kind of get it closer to the center. So it's favoring just a little bit to the right. But like I said, it is more of an economical scope. As far as the rifle and the way it feels, very soft shooting platform. The action is very smooth. Guys, this action is better than, you know, a lot of the Remingtons and stuff like that, better than the Rugers. Like I said, just a little bit of stickiness with the Cerakote. I think price point on this, I know that the purchaser of this rifle, Jake, had gotten this for $850 plus tax. I think MSRP is actually a little bit higher. He got a really good deal on it. All in all, very nice platform. Let's do a little more shooting with it. All right, guys, so first round clean cold bore was right here. So if we omit that, these two were actually pretty close, and you'll notice that it was down and to the right. Once I got that cold bore shot out of the way and we went up here, now we are sub MOA. I did come up 1 minute of angle just to bring it closer on elevation wise, but you'll see they all favor right. So I do believe that is the cold bore shot. It is something to know it's an inch away from your normal grouping, but that right there is not a bad group. It is definitely sub MOA. In my opinion, I think the trigger needs to be adjusted down just a little bit. It is a little heavy, so I think for printing some of these tight groups, that would be one of the things we need to adjust. Additionally, that Caldwell bipod is probably the sloppiest bipod I've ever felt in my life. I mean, it actually rocks back and forth. There's a lot of springiness to it, and that could be contributing to some of this. This I'm happy with. I think if you can get it in that $850 to $900 price point, it's a great rifle. It is lightweight. The thing only weighs in at like 10.5 pounds. You have a lot of user configurability with length of pull, with the adjustable trigger. You can put a suppressor on it, and you've got that 26-inch. They also offer it in a 24-inch barrel as well, and I think a 22. So you definitely have some options. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to see if we can ring some steel and see how it does. Let's take it out to some distance. Very, very impressed with the chassis setup. Guys, this right here is billet aluminum. You can see that it's CNC machined, so big kudos to them for that, because it's not like that lightweight trigger guard that you used to see in so many precision rifles. It does have the M-LOK compatibility here, not only at the bottom, but also on the sides. So you've got a lot of different options for pick rails and whatnot. But all in all, let's get to shooting this thing at 525 yards. Hey guys, so we got a 100-yard zero on it. It's good enough. Based on Streetlock data, I should be holding about 10 minutes in the reticle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and load up 3 rounds. We are at 525 yards. We didn't do any intermediate shooting or anything else. We do have a round gong out there. I believe it's about a 10-inch gong, circular gong, and hopefully we can go 3 for 3. So let's see what happens. All right, we got one on the spotter. Shooter ready.
Send it. Impact, center impact. Just slow left. Impact, center.
Okay, so the action's really smooth. I'm not used to a 90-degree throw. It does work really well though. Like I said, I'm impressed with the action. Overall, I guess, opinion about the rifle. Great bang for the buck. Don't skimp on a bipod, because this bipod, guys, this is the weakest bipod I've ever seen. As far as the scope, it definitely needs a better scope on it. It did shoot sub MOA. However, that cold bore shot being way off to the side, that's something you're going to need to record. You're going to need to record that data. So all in all, not a bad package for the price. And this is the third. This is actually be the third Howa that I've tried. This one's actually shot better than the other two. I never even reviewed the other two because they just did not perform well at all. I do know one of them had to go back to the manufacturer twice. So yeah, I was kind of being somewhat open-minded about the review, but I wanted to see the bang for the buck. This one definitely does well. You know, the Japanese make good glass, they make good heavy equipment, they make great cars. I don't know how they make firearms. It's never been one of those things I think that I've really thought about that much. I think it's a good value for the money. I think that one of the first things I would do is loosen this trigger up. I would go ahead and lighten it up anyway. I think that would help quite a bit. The Krg chassis feels really, really nice. I believe you could use this rifle in almost all applications once you get accustomed to it and get comfortable with the setup. So all in all, not bad. I hope you guys enjoyed that review of the Howa 1500 Bravo. Have a great weekend, and big shout out to Jake. Thanks for your service. Appreciate you loaning me this rifle for the review. You guys have a great Memorial Day weekend. We'll talk to you soon.